Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, TheRealRandyChavez, coming at you today on Joe R. Vintage Pokemon's page. There he is! Don't squish the box before you give it to me.
When you know it, it's actually my bachelor party weekend. Woo!
Hurricane weekend.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a hurricane party, so this is kind of awesome that I'm getting my bachelor party and my hurricane party all in one go. And what better way to start things off than with the biggest Pokemon card trade I have ever done in my entire life. I probably am not going to do a trade like this ever again. If I do, I'll be surprised.
It's a big five-figure deal trade.
And a big five figure. I love using five figure. It makes me feel important when I say five figure. If I ever use six figure, somebody slap me. But six figure would be nice also.
You will one day.
So,
Please go to the moon.
Mr. Chavez has a couple items, and I have a singular item. And I guess we'll start with what I've got, since we're on my channel at the moment. I have in this box a very rare, minty fresh, first edition Neo Genesis booster box with its own acrylic case, which was purchased, I don't remember exactly when I purchased it, but I think it was around like 2014 when I purchased this thing for the very ripe, smelly good price of $750.
Oh.
And you know what's funny is actually I remember specifically base set first edition Charizards in like PSA 9. They were going for like around that same price, and I kind of like was saying to myself, well, which one do I want? Do I want this? Do I want that? And I had bought this with the complete intention of opening it. I really did, because I wanted to open some first edition Neo Genesis cards. I love the Neo Genesis set. It's one of my favorite sets besides base set and some of the earlier sets as well. And I really wanted to open it up. And so I bought it with the intention of opening it one day. And then I started saying to myself, I was like, oh man, these prices are getting friggin' nuts. They're getting crazy. You know, it was $5,000 and $10,000.
I think 2016 you found that first bump, right? Going on the...
Oh yeah, 2016 is when it, like, I started to say, like, I don't think I can really open this thing anymore. Like, logistically, it just, I would be...
this is before people did box openings too, right?
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
When I bought this, it was way before people did really box opening. Basically, if you saw a box opening on YouTube back when I bought this, it was someone that was just sharing their own experience, and they were keeping all the cards for themselves.
Yeah, I remember seeing a guy, I think it was like it was before I joined the military, so it has like 2012 or beforehand, where this guy, he opened up a first edition box base set, and it was, I think Charizard around that time was like $6,000. So
Yeah.
it was like 2012, it was a long time ago. You know, if that would get a first edition PSA 10.
Yeah.
And it was like the first one he opened too.
It literally paid to open up a base set first edition box back then.
Yeah.
Just like it would pay to open up something like this. You could foreseeably possibly grade something and actually get your money back, potentially. And I actually remember some people actually doing that. They would open up the boxes, and then they would just sell cards that they didn't want, or doubles of things that they didn't want, and things like that. So this box is super minty. I mean, the corners are gorgeous on it. It looks like it's never been pressed in before. And we both examined the box, and we kind of come to the conclusion that this box has got to be legit. I mean, not to mention it's so old from when it was purchased, and I think back when it was purchased, not to say that fakes didn't exist, but they were a lot less likely.
It'd be really hard to try to justify like if you try to, I mean, granted it was not even $1,000 back then, but if you try to rip off the wrong person, you could find yourself some serious bodily harm. So it wouldn't make much sense to do that for the $700 or so that they went for at the time. Now, $30-something thousand, maybe someone might risk that. But
yeah,
at the time, they didn't do that for that little money.
And so I think you would agree, this box currently as it sits is probably valued at around $35,000. And so I think this is actually a really interesting trade. So now we'll show what I'm getting for this part of the deal, if you will, Mr. Chavez.
Absolutely. And as I'm showing you this, the reason why I did it for this box is because it is the first set of the second generation, a historic set because you do have the introduction of baby Pokemon on there, and it's the first time that you could in the generation you could breed Pokemon in the game, and you could also outside of that put items on your Pokemon as well. So that was really fun. So the first card we have here is a Lugia First Edition PSA 9, and actually it's in a case. It does have almost like a double swirl. I don't know how that's gonna show up in there, but it does have one tiny print line down there and another tiny print line on the full left side.
I'm definitely gonna do a follow-up video where I can take a look at these cards a little more closely because they demand appreciation. They really do.
Yeah, they
look beautiful.
I've said on my channel, this is the Charizard of the second generation. And as much as we love Charizard wasn't like the main focus of any movie. I feel like maybe you could make the argument in Pokemon 3 where he comes back. Spoilers. If you haven't seen it in like 20 years now. But Lugia, literally voiced by, if it was Dan Green, the guy that did Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the guy that did Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like the song. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I still listen to that Lugia song after I work out or when I'm feeling like really like, body's beaten down, so I could recover.
Now, obviously, this is not the biggest part of this trade, but it actually made me feel a lot better about it. I gotta tell you, when we decided that I was going to get the Lugia, I was like, because that's what you're hunting for in this box. Sure, you could go for like T17, you go for a PSA 10 Slowking, but Lugia is the second generation rookie card basically, and that's what you're hoping to get in this box. And this is a PSA 9 grade, which is probably what you're going to get if you do crack this box open anyway.
Most of them are going to be a 9.
They're notorious for having the factory lines and the print lines. Even this one, it's a beautiful example of a PSA 9. Yeah. The back is flawless, the front is well centered, but even this one has a factory line on it, even though it's graded a PSA 9 copy. So that's what you're going to get with this particular card, and it's an amazing card. But I'm super stoked that I could get that because it makes me feel good about giving this box away because I'm going to be getting the card that is the chase card for that box, which I think is great.
I think this one is the first one to ever have fire, lightning, and water as the attack energies that's needed.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And then you have the big one, the Mark McGuire before he took the medicinal use. Charizard First Edition BGS 9, 2 of the subgrades having a 9.5, just one away from a gold label 9.5. This type of thing, like I said, back is pretty beautiful. Front, the centering got a 9. You could tell it's a little bit off, I think, from left to right, and then the edges I said got a 9, but the corners and surface is really next to perfect. Like, very, very mint.
All right, so Randy, you're actually one of my oldest friends, and that's why I felt actually so confident and comfortable with doing this kind of deal. And, it's one of those things where we originally kind of shook hands on this, and we weren't able to, we are not right next door to each other. We've just known each other for a long, long time. I think we played, baseball back in, third grade or something.
They were like 9 years old, something like
that. Yeah, and so we knew that we were going to be getting together, and it was kind of like a verbal agreement, like, okay, we'll do this deal where we're going to be trading this Charizard for this box. And it's one of those things where, the prices, since we agreed upon it, they've kind of fluctuated all over the point. But it's one of those things where we're both really honorable people, and we said, all right, we're going to be doing this deal. And even if the prices are jumping all over the place, we're still going to do it.
Yeah.
It's not even so much about it's about the nostalgia. He really wants this box, and I really wanted the base set First Edition Charizard because I know that at this point I'm not opening this box anymore. It's just not going to happen, and for reasons that would be very difficult, it would be hard for me to move this box and then procure that Charizard by other means, right? And I think you can agree to that as well. Just finding it and just selling it and dealing with the logistics of all that cash flow.
Especially one with these subgrades.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to find the right buyer for something like that too. So I'm glad this deal worked out. I mean, obviously the market has been just all over the place. I think even funny about this is that your Charizard started out at double the valuation on the box.
Yeah. So for those of you that do not know, I was not the biggest player in Pokemon ever, but I have had different cards like two different Trophy Kangaskhan's, one PSA 4, one PSA 10.
Very impressive.
And this card I bought at the top of the top, paid a record price point. I think it was 60,000, but then with the taxes, it was like another 6,000 on top of that. It's like, oof. So yeah, total 6,000. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna sell it and take a loss. But I love again, I did want the box, and I love the idea of trading. The only other time I did this was with a T17 PSA 9 and like a Gold Star Charizard. There was a couple of things with that. So I love the idea. That's what people used to do back in the day before. It's like, oh, well, this is actually $30 higher than this, so give me another card for that. When people started nitpicking, and I was like, no, you want that, I want that, they're around the same price, let's go.
Well, you never know where the market's going to go next either.
Yeah,
because at this point, your card started up here, it's now come back down to here, but now you're trading up for something, and it's just, where are these items both going to be 5 years from now? Like, you have to wonder.
I would say that Charizard BGS 9 or PSA 9 by the end of the decade, granted it's 9 years away, would probably be probably about $100,000, just because there's no Pokemon ETFs yet, but I guarantee you that will come. And this type of box, there's only going to be less of these boxes throughout time. People are just going to keep opening them, because as long as they're profitable to open, sell the packs, and you do it on YouTube, you get that clout of opening one, and you make some profit with it. You buy another one, recycle.
You'll never have more sealed product.
Yeah.
You'll only ever have more BGS 9 Charizard, and are you going to have a million more? No. There's a limited quantity that can enter the market from that perspective as well. But you're talking about something that is sealed, 36 packs. You're never going to have this again. If it's opened, that's it. It's gone forever. And I think it's just really special to have this box. And I got to tell you, this is one of the pride and joys of my collection. But I really have, for the longest time, wanted a 9 or higher graded first edition base set Charizard. So, sir, I thank you for this trade.
Same. Doctor.
And with that being said, why don't we pass the batons to each other? So now I have.
This is heavy. It feels good.
It feels right.
Like it feels weighty. Like, like if you pick like a teapot or whatever, like it's in a teapot, but this is heavy. Like, this is weighted gold, weighted metal. This is
not too many Big Macs heavy. It's a good kind of heavy.
Yeah, this is you could tell, like, you just feel like it's worth a lot. Like, I feel like have power.
So, I mean, how often do you actually, I think this is actually pretty fascinating too, how often do you get this box, this card, and this card all together in one spot?
This is the first time I've ever seen that.
I mean, this is just kind of crazy. You get these together. I mean, this bad boy with its big brother box over here, and this big giant lizard over here. The OG. The rookie that started all, the rookie of the second gen, and the box of boxes for the second generation. Yeah.
I mean, you can make the argument that Neo Destiny, because it has the Shining Charizard, it's got a lot of Shinings, but without Neo Genesis, there is no Neo Discovery or Neo Destiny and all that. This is the one that started all. And God forbid the games that when they came out with it, God forbid they sucked, or God forbid like it wasn't a hit, or if Pokemon was just a fad, and this would have been the last hit, they probably wouldn't have made any more sets after this.
It's crazy.
But because it was so awesome, they kept evolving, they kept adapting. Like I said, a lot of new stuff, historical with it. So this one, I don't think I would ever break open. I would probably get another box and break that open.
Never say never.
Never say. I mean, if you want to one day, when
I recall you saying you were never going to sell that Trophy Kangaskhan.
I was never going to sell most of these.
It wasn't the intention, but it had to be done.
Yeah, I mean, when all goes to the moon, we can totally.
We've come a long way though, haven't we? I mean, we were collecting Pokemon cards back in 4th grade, heading over to each other's places, trading Pokemon cards,
battling.
Oh, just having a freaking great time with it. I mean, that was a good time, and that was our childhood. And we had so much fun doing it. And now being older and being able to appreciate that artwork, and just seeing the value and the joy that it brings to others too. I mean, I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and it's weird too that where you have like back in the day, any younger person, Gen Z that's watches, there's no internet, there's no computer. Maybe there was internet when we were like, you know,
it's very low level.
It was like dial up, it was horrible, but there was no E4, there was no YouTube, there was no forums that you could go on just to talk about Pokemon. And part of where I think you had your channel first, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You stormed in with a presence.
You're more about just like, hey, here are the cards and here's the stuff that I just started talking because there's a subsection on E4 where it's just, you know, price data or price whatever, and I felt really bad after PWCC auction, like this Caterpie went for $100. I was making like multiple different threads. It's like kind of spamming them with that. So I went and I just started making, because nobody else was doing price, you know, data analysis on the prices.
Yeah.
So I went in with that.
Which are fascinating to watch, which, you know, for the record, those of you that watch my channel, I don't have a million subscribers or anything like that, but check out TheRealRandyChavez, because this dude does not just Pokemon, but he does Pokemon, he does Earth 2, he does Tesla, he does Omi, he does all these fantastic things that are good potential investments. Not a financial advisor.
Never. Not financial.
But just like some really fascinating content that's fun to watch and enjoy in your own free time. And if you want all Pokemon, this of course is the place to be. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content.
Comment down below. They're good for the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, they're great for the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, there's Lugia, there's Charizard, this bad boy box right here. And I think that's all from us for today.
Look at how cute Pikachu is. Just so happy to be included with Meganium and Heracross that could just yeet it across the field. It's just awesome. I love this. I love every part of the fact that, when we were younger, go from the cards to battling each other in, you know, Pokemon Gold and Silver to kicking each other's butts in Pokemon Stadium 2. Everything we still play. Like we were showing. I have Yellow and Crystal on my phone.
Pretty sure when we're done here, we're gonna go downstairs. We're just gonna play more Super Smash Bros. On the N64.
Yeah, great times. I love how they include more Pokemon as it goes on. But and we started really seriously collecting with graded cards 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that.
I started in like 2012, so I'm back.
Okay,
I kind of like, once I was like fully entwined, that was when I was like, dude.
Yeah.
What are you up to? What are you doing these days?
Yeah.
You need to be in on this.
I remember I was in other side of the world. I was in Kuwait, and
you were. That was actually the big thing, is that you were just like off the grid.
Yeah. Internet was a little spotty, especially when like, you know, random stuff happened, and then there was a you told me about, like, you know, all base. What do you mention? Like base set, fossil. Like, well, I at the time I didn't really care about like which set. I just I knew I liked Pidgeot. You know, I know like Venusaur, I know like, you know, these different things, and he's like, all right, well, we'll take you to my guy, and I think you had the cards for me.
It was about as close to black market Pokemon as you could get. It was taking him to my guy.
So so I was like going on like the dark web, just going, here's some off.
This is back alleyway. This guy's got pre-release Clefables, dime a dozen.
Cold storage Bitcoin. Here you go. So like I said, I will get back into a lot of these in the future. Probably within the next 2 years, I'll get back into really collecting a lot, buying a lot of stuff, and you'll see a lot of cool stuff on this channel in the future as well. So I don't know if you want the bubble wrap for those guys. Okay. Or can I take it for this one?
It's a lot of fun, bubble wrap. Guys, we'll see you in the next great video. Make sure you like, subscribe for more great vintage Pokemon card content. It's all we do here.
Meow, meow, meow. Link down below for my channel. Meow, meow, bye, meow.